Hello and welcome to the Splinterlands AMA. It's an absolute pleasure to be here. I'm Agrode. I'm one of the founders of Splinterlands and I'm the CEO. It's January 14th in the year 2022. I'm joined by some extraordinary people. I spend a lot of my time really grateful of just like how talented the crew here is. And not just how talented, it's like how good these dudes are. Like this is just a really nice group of people to work with. So, the when I was like in high school, I signed up to go be on the admissions committee for like the prep school I went to, and I walked away thinking I really only have two questions: can they do the work, and do I want them doing the work next to me? And thus far, I think we have done a stunning job of bringing in incredibly talented people, and not just incredibly talented people, but good humans, people that I enjoy working next to. So I spend a lot of my nights and days grateful for the team that we have around us. Probably none more so than my co-founder, Matt. Matt's an extremely gifted coder and just wonderful business partner and economic game designer and product designer. He kind of can do all this stuff. So, Matt, can you say a quick hello to the audience and just make sure that they can identify your voice?
This is Matt, Yabapmatt, co-founder of Splinterlands with Agro. I'm sure most of you know me by now. I just want to mention, like, to what Agro was saying about the people that we have here. I think a lot of it is just due to the fact that most of the people we hire and have here, they just all really love this space and what we're doing. So it's not just like working at some company where it's just your job and whatever. The people here, they have cards, they have SPS, they have land, and they all just want to make this stuff because, like Agrode and I, that's what they want to play. It's what they want to do. So it kind of is just a natural fit, and it's fantastic, for us and for hiring, and just for the ability of our company to create cool products. Is that like everyone here is just super excited for what they're creating, and they don't need external motivation for that.
Yeah, it's just we have really passionate, talented, good humans, and it's a blessing. One of our fairly recent hires, who's been absolutely astounding for this company, is Hardpoint. Hardpoint, do you want to go say hello and introduce yourself and make sure the crowd can hear your voice and know who you are?
Hey guys, hey Splinterlands. This is Hardpoint, or Richard. It is a fantastic thing to be on this team and working with these guys and all of the talented folks that aren't on screen that are working their way to make this game one of the best games ever. And as Matt said, I just got more land this week, and it was awesome because now I have more land, and my goal for 22 is being slowly fulfilled one day at a time. So not financial advice for anybody, just know that I'm super excited for this upcoming project. Been having a lot of fun. For those of you who came out to our stream earlier, we did Learn to Play with Chatter. Just having a lot of fun playing the game, having a lot of fun building the game, having a lot of fun investing in the game, and I couldn't be more thrilled to be with you guys tonight.
And do we have a fourth person on here with us? I can't always see the screen for this. Who else is on air?
Just the three of us.
That's the three of us. Alrighty. So let's see. So just a quick reminder of the format for the show. The first hour or so is really just us kind of giving some product updates to the community. And so it's not really like I know it's an AMA, or it used to be called an AMA. The like first part of this is really a town hall where we can just kind of discuss what we're working on and why we're working on it. And then after that, we'll have we'll have some question time. The first part of the question time is pre-asked questions that we've scraped from Discord and organized a little bit. And then the second half is just like whatever happens. So we'll see how much we're able to get through of that. I guess, my desire or need to do this is coming down quite a bit since the last couple months. But Hardpoint, why don't you just start with giving us a server update? Like, how are the servers doing? Are things on fire? Are we doing okay? Or where are we at?
Oh, we're doing fantastic. Like, there was just another release last week. We've been dropping stuff left and right. For those of you guys who have been following along with the releases, And if you've been noticing, the list of changes every week is growing. And what that speaks to, it's our dev capacity coming online. We've been hiring really fast, and people have been slowly moving through our collaborative evaluation period. And when on board, we had 2 more devs come online at the beginning of the year, starting to see them pick up speed with development, and super excited about that. But yeah, no, the team is very happy with where we're at with servers. We know that it's not perfect, but compared to where we were like 4 or 5 months ago, it is a much different place. And the way we're looking forward this year is we're starting to kind of plan out, how do we get modern wildlife? How do we get through to land? Like, those are the big projects that we're starting to talk about. SPS governance is en route. So it's just so fun to be here and, working with Matt on the code and working with the other developers and having more and more developers working on different pieces of the game. It's just really exciting. So doing great, and servers are looking great, and looking forward to Monday when we open the general sale up to the public at 12 Eastern. We're going to be streaming live, just like we did when we launched Chaos Legion, so you can come and join us then. 11:30 to 12:30 Eastern. We will be here celebrating getting the live sale. And actually, speaking of that, I thought it would be really fun, and I talked to Matt and Aggie about this, and I was like, you know what we should do? We should do something fun with the community to really, get people excited. And so we put together a little survey, and I'm going to be dropping this in the official announcements in a little bit. And everybody, we're tapping into your creativity, we're tapping into your fun. So what we're going to do is we're going to play a little game. Everybody gets a chance with Price or Right rules to guess how many packs of Chaos Legion cards we are going to sell in the first 24 hours. That exclude bonus packs. We're talking about just the number straight of packs for the first 24 hours. Everybody gets in the community, go in there and submit your guess. And what we're going to do is we're going to award the number 1, the number 2, and the number 3 guesses that are closest to it. We're going to put 100 Chaos Legion packs in the account with the closest guess, and then the 50 Chaos Legion packs in the second, and 25 in the third. So it'll be really fun, but it's more of just us kind of celebrating with you, us playing around. We really don't know how many are going to sell, but we're all guessing. We have everybody from Matt, which I've heard his guess. We have Aggie. His guess is a lot different, and my guess is a lot different. All of us are guessing. So it's a lot of fun to be here. So we'll be dropping that in the stream in a little bit, and super excited to be here and super excited to be looking forward to that release.
Okay. All right. And then what I guess since we're talking to you now, maybe you can go give us a little bit of a support update too. How's that going?
Support has been killing it, and it's been awesome because things have been so. I was talking to the leads, and I were talking this last week, and everything has been so quiet on the drama side over the last couple of weeks. We've been able to turn around a lot of incoming tickets. The throughput is happening. We've had the lowest number of tickets last month since everything took off, and the team has been slowly grinding through it. We're getting a lot better processes in place to make sure those tickets get answered quickly. And the other exciting thing is we're working right now on getting support chat into the game. So when you have issues, you don't have to go to a separate website. You don't have to go to Discord. You can just be right in game, and you can submit your questions. You can submit your issues right there. That's something we have ongoing right now. We're also, another project that we're working on in parallel for support is building out our knowledge base. You go to support.splinterlands.com. You will find a lot of cool knowledge base articles if you're having issues, and we are investing in that very soon. So very excited about that. And support is, like I always say, guys, every week, they are not the unsung heroes, because I've been singing their praises every week, but those guys really work really hard and diligently to make sure that you are taken care of, and that you are taken care of as absolutely quickly as we can, given just the volume of tickets that we do receive. Even though it's low, it's still a lot of freaking work. And I just want to say thank you to the whole support team. We love you guys, and we really appreciate all the hard work you do for us here.
Yeah, rock on. Matt, anything that you want to talk about just at a high level and for product or for the Chaos Legion packs that are going to come online? Anything that you want to bring up or share?
Yes, I mean, similar to what I've been saying for a while. One of the things I'm most excited for that we've been talking about for a long time now is the SPS governance and validator nodes. I admit that is, as most things do, taking longer than I initially anticipated. There are some, things that came up, some bugs that I didn't anticipate that we're working through. We're also working through the setup and install process to make it as easy as possible for people to run, and working through the economics of it as well. But it will happen. It's getting close. We're kind of at that towards the end of that cycle, so it's pretty exciting. And as far as Chaos Legion, yeah, obviously, the general sale and having everything out there will be great. It'll be great to have, $4 packs available, so it's kind of, people can come in and buy packs of cards. It remains to be seen how long those will be available. But, we'll find out soon. And then obviously I'm really, really looking forward to modern format, because I think that will alleviate a lot of the issues and concerns with, it being more difficult for newer players or players that don't have a ton of the old cards to compete. Like, those should be kind of separated out and have different reward pools. Then you can, compete based on your collection where you want. So I think that's going to be really important. And that's, kind of the main focus for development after the general sale. So yeah, there's a bunch of stuff to really look forward to in the pretty near future.
How I guess are we looking okay? I guess this is a question for Richard. Are we okay for the general sale starting? Are you expecting any kind of major server difficulties, or do you think we'll fly through? What's the level of brace for impact that we should all be feeling right now?
Well, emotionally, I'm bracing for impact. Technically, the team have said that we're in as best shape as we can put ourselves with what we anticipate. So pretty always we want to say brace for impact. We just don't know what kind of exciting volume will happen. But we feel like we're in the best position that the tech can be in at the moment, given the time and the constraints that we had to develop it. So we're excited to see what happens. We're excited to see everybody start opening those packs, able to get into the game for a much cheaper price, and I think it's going to be fantastic.
Two things that come to mind are, we have a lot of these guys that have done these bulk sales where they bought, 250,000 packs. Not all of them came with all the potions, so some people are going to have to buy a lot of potions. How do we do for like increasing the number of potions you can buy all at once? And then where are we for the 17th in terms of like how many packs you can open all at once? Because, that might be a 1,000 pack openings for some folks.
So me and Matt were actually just talking about this afternoon, and we're working on getting an update, which we're going to allow people to open. Right now, our current limit is 200 packs per open, and we are going to be increasing that to 500 packs per open, and we are going to so we're really excited about doing that. So that's like almost tripling what we can do. And if any of you guys have purchased a lot of packs, reach out to us through support, open a ticket, and we can help, provide you something that can accelerate that and automate that a little bit. We don't have an official way to do it, but if you're buying, 10,000 or 100,000 and you need some help, me and Matt will definitely help you out.
Oh, all right. Yeah, I got a list of people that are going to be interested in that, because that's still it's a mixed bag, because it is actually quite a lot of fun to go open those. I don't know how many people here have had the chance to like open 200 packs at once, or God forbid 500 packs. Like, it's actually pretty fun to just sit there and be like, give me the gold foil legendary.
Me and Liam were sitting on stream earlier, and we were threatening to turn the stream into just opening packs for an hour because we were having so much fun.
Yeah, I get it. The one thing that struck me recently, I opened up the market today, and Bakjira and Uriel, I think I'm going with Uriel. The Purifier. They're both doing pretty well. You know, Bakjira's up there at $34. It's the fourth most expensive card out of the set, and then you also have Uriel, who's the fifth most expensive card. Those are two airdrops that just dropped. I think the math is a little bit off because the circulation includes some combined cards. But if I do 34 times 4799, in the first airdrop we dropped $163,000 worth of cards on players there, and then on the second one, 4796, 115. So almost $300,000 worth of cards, and a whole bunch of those have been combined too. But that just makes me happy. You know, it's like you guys who bought your cards early, got them in the first pre-sale, then got them in the second pre-sale. Y'all made like $300,000 in airdrops. I think that's something that's pretty impressive. Now that's on top of vouchers, and that's on top of SPS, and that's on top of, you know, the SPS staking. That's on top of like your NFT rewards and your daily quest rewards and your season rewards. But, you know, here's another $300,000 in case you guys haven't gotten enough from us, or not just from us, but from this game and this community. I think that's pretty astounding. Did you guys feel the same way? How have like card prices and that airdrop met or exceeded, or not met or exceeded your expectations?
Matt, have you been staring at prices, or are you just coding nowadays?
I haven't been looking at prices as much, but, you know, I was looking at the numbers because obviously, you know, main part of my job is making sure the math checks out on all these things and the drop rates, and that they are, you know, in line as much as possible with the other legendary cards. So I think we kind of we got it pretty darn close so far. And Aggie, to answer your question, there's about I think there's not a ton of them have been combined. But yeah, your math isn't totally off. We can look up those exact numbers, but that's what I've been looking at. I mean, you know, prices will come and go, and, you know, hopefully if we make a better game and get more people in here, they will increase over the long term.
Yeah, not a lot of people selling Bakjira. I'm looking at that card and being like, ooh, that's so good. That's a good card. You got the Void, you got the heal, the self-heal on like on a 16 health plus strengthen. So now it's a 17 health card. So that's doing a bit. If anybody else has strengthen or something that adds a little bit of health, then that's going to be like 18 health. You're healing for 6 each round. Like, you can't kill Bakjira. That card's awesome. And then, like, basically, if somebody wants to go attack you with magic, they're just going to sit there and regret it all day long. Was that roughly the thought process for that?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, and then as far as, you know, not killing it, that's where you got to get things like a press, right? You know, so there are counters for these type of things, which is exactly what we're going for. You know, you have to try to guess what your opponent might do and use cards to try to counter that. And depending upon the situation, obviously different rule sets, he might be better, different rule, or other ones he might be worse. So I'm a fan of the card as well.
Sweet. You know, one thing I'd add, I'm not positive that this is true, but I think right there at the tail end of phase 2, we had 2 of the best days in company history for sales. So just looking at how things are going, you know, I know that there's thoughts and concerns that we're going to like sell out immediately, and maybe that will happen. I'm not quite as bullish on that. You know, maybe if the price of Bitcoin were back at 67,000 instead of 43 or something, then I'd still be in that camp. So I'm a little bit less concerned about it. But, you know, frankly, the just having as much sales as we're having these days, it's pretty incredible. I lost the counter on the site for how many packs we've sold, but, you know, there's a lot of packs that have gone out, and it's you know, I think it's pretty incredible. How is this like met or exceeded your expectations, Matt? I know that you're pretty conservative. Are we in line with your expectations, ahead of them, behind them? Like where's your brain at?
I guess it depends at what point you're talking about my expectations. If it was 6 months ago, I would have called you crazy, which I've done before,
Oh,
many
yeah.
times. Yeah.
You guys, can I just vent for a second? How
Yeah,
many
vent away.
times Matt has been like, what are you, an idiot? There's no way that's going to happen. And then it's like, yes, that's exactly what happened.
No, see, this is my thing. Is like I know we're probably not going to sell out on Monday, but I would just love it just to sell out, just so that I could laugh at Matt for a while over this, because I think it's just been so funny. He's like, "We guys, it's not going to sell out. There's going to be plenty of cards, people," and I'm like, "You're probably right. Matt's right. He looks at the numbers. He looks at what's selling. It's probably not going to sell out. We don't even want it to sell out." But it would be funny if it did sell out now, because we would have to create a T-shirt or something to commemorate this moment.
Yeah.
You can create a T-shirt, making fun of me if packs sell out. But also, I tried to, set the number of packs, based on what we saw happening, and factoring in some amount of growth. So that they, our goal is for them to last for roughly around a year, hopefully at least 6 months or so. So that also isn't great. I mean, it looks great and it sounds great, and you have, say, oh, packs sold out so fast and yada yada yada. But generally we like for people to be able to come in and buy packs at a reasonable price for a while. And then, eventually they will sell out sooner or later, and then the market will do whatever the market does. But, I don't know. I don't think it would be great, if they sold out too quickly. And I tried to price them, we tried to make enough so that wouldn't happen. And then, initially that was like way too many packs. So I was looking at like 30 million packs, and I was like, well, that's just going to be too many cards. So that's, a big part of the reason why we ended up going with 15 million packs, but at the $4 price point. So that way, we could still have, a lot of packs, but not without necessarily like ridiculously increasing the card supply. So we'll see.
So Matt, so what goes into, like, so what will we look at next time? Like, will we be at 30 million, or do we have a formula, or how do we figure out the next release and how many cards to do?
Well, I mean, you just have to look at the situation when it comes closer to our next pack release. I mean, who knows? It's just, I don't even try thinking about things that far out, because stuff changes so fast.
Right.
So, I mean, yeah, but if we already have a base of like 15 million for Chaos Legion, then going to 30 million for the next set wouldn't be that crazy, and we'd have to have the player base to justify it, right? So if our player base has doubled or more in that time, and we can also see how Chaos Legion went, right? Are there too many cards? Are there too little? How fast did packs sell out? Was it too fast, too slow, whatever? So we just use that with our player base, growth at the time, and some estimates for the future, and kind of figure that out.
That's awesome.
All right, I want to transition a bit, because I want to make sure we're going to invite a couple of the team members on, and so I think our first up is going to be Waffles Kitty. So this is it. I didn't transition this well at all, but moving away from that and going to something completely different. I could do the Monty Python, and now for something completely different. So Waffles, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Oh, excellent. So do you want to give a quick introduction as to who you are and what you do, and
Sure.
and then I think we're going to do a little bit of a DYGYCON preview or announcement. So share away with that too.
Oh, okay, cool. Oh, shoot. Let me get you the link for that. Or can I share my screen at some point, or should I just include a link?
That's up to Ron. Yeah, we can't do a screen share. That's not allowed.
Okay.
So why don't you just start with like a quick introduction, and you can grab the link right after you're done talking if you can't do both at the same time.
Okay. Hi, guys. This is Sarah, Waffles Kitty. I am the DYGYCON event coordinator, and DYGYCON is a virtual experience that we invite a bunch of crypto personalities and projects to for you guys to just hang out together and also get some free cool stuff in the meantime. And also, there's a bunch of great things happening. Uh, One thing that I haven't necessarily announced yet on Twitter, but Atomic Hub is going to take over a whole expo hall, and a bunch of their artists are going to be there. So that would be like one of like the main highlights. And then I also, as I promised, I did send out 3 blog posts on Hive for you guys to check out about the event. So definitely check that out. Let me know what you think. Send me comments and love, and in a second, I will get a link for you guys for a preview of DYGYCON, and you guys can watch that and let me know what you think about that also. Also, if
Awesome.
you're wondering what this is, it's an avocado.
I wasn't even looking at the screen, and you're just talking about avocados. Obviously. So can you just one last question before you go here? What's
Yeah.
the number one reason that somebody's going to come to DYGYCON? What's the primary benefit for the people that are listening? Why should they come or care?
Well, it's not every day you get to talk to people in the crypto community or even crypto personalities, people who are like the CMO of certain companies like Gala Games and like Atomicum and a bunch of other people, like not necessarily face to face, but like almost like close to that, you know, like in the digital metaverse. And like you don't always have access to these type of people, and like the experience and being with them is just like amazing.
And then let's say the date again for the next one.
It's January 21st to 23rd, so that is next week, starting on Friday. And then the main live stream date is on the 22nd from 2 to 5 p.m. Eastern.
Awesome. So hopefully you guys will come join us and check that out. Thanks, Waffles.
Thank you, guys.
All right, I want to move on and talk to another. I think we have a couple other. I don't know if they're brand new folks, but I'm not sure that they spent much time kind of coming on air and talking to us. So the next person that I want to invite on is going to be Beth, who goes by RealityvsModel. Beth, are you there? Are you able to speak?
I am there.
Fantastic.
Hi,
And you just sound so exciting. That's great. So why don't you tell us who you are, what you're doing, and then why you're so excited?
Yeah, hi everybody. I'm RealityvsModel. I'm Liam's executive assistant in marketing, working behind the scenes for almost 2 months now, and Aggro hit the nail on the head. I am so excited to be here. You guys got me excited to play the game. You guys got me buying SPS, and now I get to be here and helping you guys in turn through marketing and growing your community online, physically, where, you know, a lot of you have already heard Splinterfest is going to be coming up this year, our first one, so you can meet and play in person. And you guys are part of this virtuous cycle where our marketing efforts help you guys grow your community. You guys are such an amazing community that it makes our job easier. And I'm so excited to be here. I felt like I had a journey through math and administration and marketing to land at a company that I'm so excited about philosophically and creatively, and the economics of the game too.
So what give us a sense of what your day-to-day is working with Chatter and the marketing team. Like, you know, just
Sure.
give me a quick sense of like day in the life of what's the
life.
marketing team do here?
Awesome. So one slice of what we do is data. So we don't just look at what you guys say. We go into the data and look at how you actually behave. What do you actually do? And we take both of those things into consideration where we give our input. How can we grow the game? How can we make our current players happy? How can we make new players happy wherever you are in your development? So there's the data part. And then we have the marketing, like conferences or podcasts. How do we get the word out there both to gamers and people who are interested in crypto, or maybe even people who are not gamers or don't know a lot about crypto? How can we tell them about our game and get them interested in that? And then let's see, what else? What do I do? A lot of administration behind the scenes, which I happen to love. But I'd say that's the third slice. How do we keep things going and stay organized as a company? All those things that you guys don't necessarily see, our systems and our processes, but it makes happy employees and it'll make happy players.
So what are your like personal goals? Like when you think through what is it that you want to work on or you want to accomplish, not just for, maybe in the current role or just like for the company, like what are you hoping that you will do, and what are you hoping that the company will do? Like how do you think through this?
Sure. Well, I've worked on a game in the past. I've worked on board games. I love games. And what I loved about that was helping people, bringing people entertainment. But I thought, where can I find additional meaning in this? This is a very small scale. And if I love it on the small scale, how can I grow it? Well, the first thing is creating an actual economy around that. So we always talk about owning our own assets. Yes, we're playing, but are we participating in a meaningful economy beyond entertainment? Should we be? I think the answer is yes. And so taking that, all right, now we're adding value to games. And now I want to add another layer to that, which is we're adding these values to games, but we're taking it globally. Because the value that's added to a group of players in one country versus a group of players in a different country, and many different ways to interact with the game and with the tokens and with the economy. So it's all about kind of taking my core personal values, being loving games, wanting to increase people's economic opportunities, and not just doing that on a small scale, maybe starting there, but growing that globally.
Awesome. Well, Beth, it's been an absolute pleasure to have you here. Beth helped put together some of the some slide decks that I presented to the entire company to help set the culture and help set, what the mission is and what we're driving to do. So I'm personally grateful to Beth. I'm glad that you're here. I know that Chatter's just so impressed with you, and it's great to have you. So thanks for working here. Thanks for choosing here, and thanks for bringing that enthusiasm, energy, and passion into what you're doing. It's great.
Thanks, guys.
Okay, so I have, I think, two more people to bring on. Next one up is Kyle K. Or Mumpulls. He's not going to be on. He's not going to be on camera, but hopefully, Mumpulls, you can say hi and you're able to go check in with us. You there?
Yeah, I'm here.
All right, fantastic. So, do you want to give us a sense of who you are, what you do, and how long you've been doing it?
Yeah, as Agrid said, my name is Kyle. I go by Mumpulls for my Discord in-game, and pretty much if you see that name anywhere, it's more than likely me, unless it's a scammer. With this, just a overview of my experience from, well, actually, before that. So I work for the support team with Splinterlands. I've been here since the end of, I believe it was November. And my background experience, I have about 13, 14 years in just customer service work with call centers. Some of that was with tech support. Some of it was with de-escalation or leadership roles. And then I've been in the crypto space, just researching, investing, and looking at different crypto type entities since like 2018, mid 2018. I'm pretty, in general, excited just to be on the team because, I mean, I've been a video gamer like my entire life, so playing games has always been just like a huge chunk of my life, and I've been into Splinterlands since March of last year. So the fact that I get to work on a game that I'm probably a little bit too obsessed with, but how everyone knows how that goes. But I'm just excited there.
So how long you been working here, and what's the like day-to-day life look like for you?
Since the end of November, right around there, and day to day, I mean, I help with the Discord support channels. I help answer the questions there. I'm still learning my way through our back channels and the tickets, but something that kind of stuck with me from previous jobs is whenever you have like a support team that's smaller like ours is, I always think of it more as an octopus with arms, and we're each an arm. And even if one of us doesn't know the answer right away, we kind of powwow on the back in our think tank and figure it out. So I kind of think of us all as like a unit, if that makes any sense. So I'm still learning some roles, but I'm like,
No, that's great. That it's definitely, one of I think it was K-Bucks talking about the developers. Were like, it is more important that you help your fellow coders than you do just your own thing as an individual contributor. And maybe that's not quite the quote, but I definitely see that this is like, the end result is not, we want 10 people who are just superstars. It's like, we want a team that collaborates, that enjoys their time here, that helps make something awesome and makes something fun. Like tell us, what's your experience been? Back in November, it was pretty hectic. How are you feeling now? Are you stressed and burnt out? Are you excited and it's another day? How are the players in your experience? Are they grateful and happy and stoked? Are they angry and frustrated? Like, give me kind of like a temperature gauge of what you're seeing out there.
It's a range depending on the day. Honestly speaking, like so end of season, there's always going to be those angry people. You kind of just have to empathize with them because I get it. Like if I thought something worked a certain way and I didn't get the rewards I was expecting, or I just didn't understand something, or like it wasn't very clear, like you really have to break things down for people and see where they're coming from their point of view. I mean, so like overall, like I think the overall sentiment from what I've seen is not that many players are angry. Like if there were that many angry players, I'd probably be working like 24 hours a day along with all my other support staff and that tech support because they would be letting us know. Like on a broader scheme. Yeah.
So I taught as a professor for a while, and when I was a professor, we used online homework, and that online homework helped my students. I can count on one finger how many people would tell me nice things about the program. And the second it went wrong, I would get like an inbox full of flaming emails of like, just not there. It was like students and a fair amount of entitlement, but it was just also anger and frustration that like, you do something right once, you do something right like 1,000 times, and maybe one person will thank you for it. And you do something wrong once, and like 1,000 people will immediately be like, "What the hell is wrong with you?" So, I'm grateful for the work that the support team does. Like we want, part of this mission is to help people, and it really takes like person by person interaction and helping in order to kind of progress that. So I applaud your work. I thank you for being here, and I'm feeling like, we're going to have some angry people and anybody that's frustrated by, blockchain stuff, and there's going to be plenty. Money's involved, and this is a game that we're passionate about. But, I also look on the other side that like, if you're angry and you're frustrated or you're something, like, it actually is a sense that you kind of care about the product and you care about the community. So I just hope that sentiment exists in the support team, but also within the community, that like, just take a second and pause and recognize that this is something that's important to you, and that, there's people on the other end of this. They're not robots. They're not automatons. They're just like regular human beings, and they're here to try to help your life be as good as possible.
And I can tell you right now, from all my customers support jobs, I've never heard a CEO say that, like, especially to the public. They tell you just to suck it up and deal with it. Like, they would never tell the customers that those are humans you're talking to.
Yeah,
I appreciate that.
Yeah. You guys are people. I've been reading like Facebook. Facebook has all the people that like have to go ban content, and they're like sitting there watching all these horrible videos all day of like every kind of human torture that you can imagine: animal torture, animal cruelty, obscure sexual acts, and like every piece of human deviant behavior that could possibly be on the internet, including like people getting executed. And those people go through like intense trauma, and they're like trauma bonded with each other. It just sounds like an absolute nightmare. And then like to get treated badly by the company and like, oh, you don't get bathroom breaks, get back in there and go watch some more horrific stuff. Like, Jesus, no. Like, the whole point of this business is to like have peace, have prosperity, and have freedom and spread that. And, it starts with me, and like, I have to take care of myself and make sure that that's happening for me. And because that puts me in a place to go help others. And then I go help other people. And I don't just mean this for me. I mean that hopefully this is the attitude of every person that works here. Start by making sure that you are in a spiritual place and an emotional place and a physical place where you are purposely creating an environment where you are happy, safe, and well. And then from that position, you can go spread that to the other guys or the other men and women at the company. And then from there, we can really be our best to go support the community. So I'm sorry that nobody else has said they care about you and your wellness before as an employer. But no, I'm super grateful that you're here. You're like the direct communication path to the customer, and you can help shape the direction that we go in to make sure that the website is operational, to make sure that we're responding well to the concerns that the players have, and we're building the website to reduce the frustrations that they have. And I hope you hear that support from one of the founders, that we're gonna do this the right way, and that includes taking care of our employees, and that includes taking care of our community. Does that sound okay?
Yeah.
Awesome. All right. Thanks, Mumpulls. Glad you're here. Thanks for working at Splinterlands. Thanks for being part of this community, and thanks for helping us serve the community and doing our best to make their lives just a little bit better with us.
Thanks for having me.
You're welcome. All right. I think we have one more, and that's going to be Butcherblock, or Butcher's Block. Sorry.
That's it. Butcherblock's fine.
All right. So go for it.
Sorry.
No, go for it.
Yeah, my name is Mark. You'll see me throughout the community as Butcherblock. My area of responsibility here is data management, database performance, providing support, as Beth had said earlier, statistical reporting for improving gameplay, managing the overall reliability of the back-end databases and data systems.
All right, that all sounds a little technical. Can you break that down to something that like a user might have experienced? What have you done for the company in a way, but explain it in a way that like, hey, I'm just a gamer. What might I have noticed or not noticed because you're here?
And I have to apologize. I'm used to talking to computers all day, so I get stuck in a room. But no, so basically what my role here is when support, for example, somebody has a question, they're missing a transaction or an airdrop, and they want to know what happened or why. I'll work with support to pull that information, track that activity throughout the system, so that we can get some answers and regarding the questions, and we can do it in a timely fashion.
So we've heard some nice things about the company culture. Can you share some of your experience from kind of the dev team and also working with the support team? And are you like directly interfacing with customers? Is it all coming through the support?
No, I don't directly interface with customers. Generally, everything comes through support. Wait a
second, guys. Half the team is customers. I mean, more than half the team. I think like 90% of people are dumping their salaries back into the game. So you're actually, Mark, you may not realize it, but when you talk to support, those guys are huge Splinterlands people. So like you are talking to the customers. We love you, Mark. You're great here. Just keep going. I just wanted you to realize that like we on the team, we salute you, sir.
But yeah, so I mean, what I really, the biggest thing I have or want to provide is confidence in the game. confidence that the transactions are going through as they're supposed to. I have 30 years experience prior to this in the online wagering world with regard to horse racing, both nationally and internationally. So I know how important it is. You know, you work hard for your money. You put it into an environment, you expect it to be correct, and I want to make sure that I can, you know, you are comfortable as a player in this game that, you know, everything is fair and above board.
Yeah, I'm just grateful that you're here. You know, the finding developers with 30 years experience is not easy. And then just because you have experience doesn't actually mean you're good. But to find somebody that has 30 years of experience and is actually good, that is a fantastic combination. And you know, I salute you for the efforts you've made improving our databases, which ultimately ends up making our game more reliable. And one less angry, frustrated moment by a player is really like hopefully just contributing to a seamless user experience. And we might not ever get like high fives and kudos for that. You know, I do think we get them in the form of like packs purchased and in the form of like being the number one most played game in crypto. But you know, we don't always come in and see emails that are like, "Hey, dudes, thanks for having a smooth game." It's kind of like the table stakes, and they just yell at us if things are wrong. But you know, I really honor and salute you for being here, and thanks for making sure that the servers run and that the game is operating smoothly, and that at the times that it's not, there's a dev there to answer questions and help sort stuff out.
I also want to mention, you know, a big thing of what Butcherblock does is like those of you who have been around for even just 6 months or so probably have experienced in the past a lot of you know, maintenance mode or ranked battles being disabled, you know, randomly at different times, or the site being ridiculously slow sometimes. And that most often came down to database problems, or that, you know, our databases weren't set up properly to handle the increased load and all that stuff. So, you know, the fact that that isn't happening anymore, a lot of that is owed to Butcherblock and his optimizing and fixing, you know, our database issues.
I appreciate that. I would like to just wrap it up by saying, as I said, I've been in this for many decades. This is one of the first companies that I've truly worked for or with that the community is key. It's not just a revenue stream. There's more about it than money. It actually, they truly care about the players and their experience.
Yeah, I think that's true. Thanks, bud. All right, I think we have Cryptomancer in here too. So if Cryptomancer wants to speak, you know, getting another elder dev into this would be awesome. Cryptomancer, are you there? And are you able to talk?
Hello, everyone. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you great. So, Cryptomancer, I imagine most people know who you are because you've been around as like a rock in our dev department forever. But let's just start from ground zero. Can you go give kind of a quick introduction of who you are and what you do?
All right, sure. So I've been with Splinterlands for just over 2 years now, and it's been really incredible seeing the company grow as I've been here. I'm one of the main feature developers, so I did a lot of the things that you're familiar with on the site.
Yeah. Just give us the list because it's pretty impressive.
Yep. So I implemented the anytime tournament system. I did the collection power system. I implemented brawls and a ton of minor features as well all over the place. And I also coded the whole Chaos Legion sale and all of the new special abilities for Chaos Legion. So I'm kind of involved in every major part of the game, building out a lot of the new features as we go along. And originally it was just me and Yabapmatt and Melon Man. It was just a couple people actually doing the code and coming up with all these things. And then we started seeing the team grow. Hardpoint joined, and the dev team just kind of exploded in size. And it's just been an incredible experience seeing the company go from just a handful of people to this huge giant team that we have nowadays. And of course, we're still growing and ramping up. So it's been a really interesting evolution to watch.
So
Yeah.
the most recent thing that we owe you is the all the Chaos Legion bits, right?
Yep, that's right. So I've been heavily involved in the launch of Chaos Legion, getting the cards ready, the special abilities, doing the sales page. Over the last week, I've been preparing for the general sale. So I'm happy to say that all the code is written for the general sale and tested, and we're basically as prepared as we're going to be. So I'm confident that everything's going to go smoothly on Monday, and we're going to have a really nice launch to that general sale.
So once that's done, what's next on your radar? What are you gonna? I broke my own rule. I try not to ask devs, "Hey, that's great. What are you doing next?" But it's just
we have Cryptomancer. We haven't even shipped your code. He's ready for you to ship more code.
I know. I know. I did this. I used to do this to Matt all the time, and I guess I haven't done it recently because I didn't catch myself ahead of time. But it's been like, it's just I just get so freaking excited for what you guys are doing. I know that this stuff is like it's literally game changing, if you know what I mean. It's changes our game, but it also just elevates our company, and I don't know. You guys are the lifeblood in so many ways to have such talented devs and a creative team to come, work with you guys to build it and put it all together. But, I know that I'm not the only person that's excited, so forgive me for asking, but assuming that the 17th goes well, what's up next for you? What's on your personal roadmap of what you're tackling, and how are you feeling about that next?
Well, probably the immediate priority will be the next airdrop cards. So depending on how well the sales go, I imagine we might need those fairly fast. So I know that Nate's already got the artwork ready to go there, and Yabapmatt's probably starting to think about the stats. And
Should we,
then
since Nate's not available, should we reveal the next two
do it?
airdrop cards?
Do it.
Oh, yeah.
Alpha.
Yes,
Alpha leak. It's
yes.
right now.
Yeah,
That's why,
what you guys
that's
see
why
here.
I'm here. That's why
The
I'm
official
here.
post will probably be out tomorrow, but whatever. If you come to the town halls, you get to see it first.
Nice.
All right. So you
Nice.
think I would have this ready already, but give me one second. Talk about something and let me get the images and I'll post them in the chat here.
Once the airdrops are taken care of, then I'm going to be moving on to the modern and wild formats. That's the biggest priority coming up. Oh, yes, look at that.
Lyra the Dark. I'm in love. This is my little gothic queen. I haven't even seen that. Are those that looks like a little vampire. Does she have like little vampire teeth on her?
That's sure. That looks amazing. This artwork is amazing. The creative team we have here, guys, is one of the. I'm here for it. That's what I'm here for. So awesome. Oh my gosh!
Those are those two.
Banged.
The next one I don't have the stats ready for, but I just got the art. And
So,
let me see. This is the art for the next one is just amazing. So I'm going to share that before we have stats ready.
Lyra the Dark.
So can I ask you guys? This is something for somebody that just came in. How do I get this card? Can you guys walk me through what the steps are to get these cards? Because these cards you can't just get, right?
They will. So they will be available in packs along with all the other cards in the set once they are released. But you can get additional versions of them if you buy Chaos. Well, if you've bought any previously, you'll be eligible. Each pack has a chance of getting them as an airdrop. And if you buy any packs within the first 24 hours of the Chaos Legion general sale, which starts on Monday, each pack you purchase will have a chance of getting one of each of these cards.
That's awesome. Thanks, Matt. I gotta get more packs. I need more of these cards. These are I don't know. These may be some of my favorite cards.
Yeah, they're great. Butcherblock, I think, is going to be one of the best. Oh, do we have a name for the orc? That orc.
It's Grum.
Grum. That orc is sick. That's sick, nasty.
That is awesome, man.
Grum. He has a last name too.
Grum
Flameblade.
All right, I have to. Crap.
Are we
Liam, why
allowed
don't
to
we-
say? Are we allowed to say for the horde on the stream? And like, does are we allowed to
I
say
don't know.
that?
I don't think so.
Okay,
But I've been.
I didn't say it then.
So aggro came to like I started aggroed as a World of Warcraft orc warrior, and when so you've been talking about your Richard's been talking about his like business card and his business character.
Oh,
And I've-
can I share it?
Yeah,
Can I share
go.
some
You
of
can
it?
go pop it in now. I've been.
Uh,
I keep thinking I want to go back to being an orc warrior. So right now my business card is like a green eyed kind of smoking green smoke wizard. But I've been thinking about going to like barbarian shaman or barbarian like half orc, kind of like just a little bit of sorcery. But this is that orc Grum is roughly what I was thinking. So I'm a little bit ticked that he has a beard and it's red and they're not even chops. But other than that, like I need to go be Grum's cousin for my business card or something like that. As we're gonna go see. Yeah, there we go. So there's Richard.
Can I take a few minutes to talk about this? This how wonderful this process was. You know, it's been so much fun working here, but I gotta be honest, working with Tyler on this card by far exceeded my expectations. And Tyler was so kind because he got on a call with me at 10:30 at night, and he's like, "Hey, you know, like I want to like do some things with your card." And I was like, you know, you saw my document that I shared with the community, and he's like, "Yeah, like I saw it." And I was like, I want to help that guy make his dream come true. He's like, he put so much into it, all these screenshots and all these poses. And it was so funny. So we just sat there and I was giggling like a little kid, just like now. I'm like, just sitting there going, okay, Tyler, okay. If this is going to be my card, there has to be a lot of meta built into the card. I was like, this can't just be a cool card. It has to actually have little things that are nods to me. You know, I think of the Dr. Blight poster where all the pictures in the background were actually all teasers for Chaos Legion. And when we worked on it, I'm gonna call a couple of these out to you guys just so you can appreciate just not only just where this is, but just like how these artists and these people that are on our team and just how much of a heart they have just to like make these dreams come true of like not only the team, but just like they want to help everyone experience like something unique, something special. And so like my card, I'll just go through this quick. I don't want to take up too much time, but so like if you look at my card closely, you'll notice that the clasp on the thing is actually a lion, and that's actually a nod to my name, Richard, and you know, Richard the Lionheart. You know, it's been one of those things, you know, in the back. So there's a little nod there to my name. You can look at the sword, and the sword is actually steampunk. And the whole reason it's steampunk is because the warrior side of me is the whole business side. Like I do business and I do technology. And so the whole warrior in this is a battle mage. And that's like, this is kind of like who I am, where I'm at in my career. And so that warrior side, but what's cool about it is that that's not the primary attack I use. Like the sword is in the sheath and it's on my back because I can do it. But my primary attack is actually magic, and it's actually technology, and it's creating things out of thin air with technology. And you can see the ones and zeros starting to fly off the page. And that's where the book comes in, is like the book is the knowledge that I'm drawing on to be here at Splinterlands and use my career to create and help create this vision that we have of this game and all this stuff. And then like you can see on the book, there's actually 2 runes on it if you look on the pages. And those actually are subtle nods to the number 22. And that's something special between me and my wife. And she actually has that tattooed on her arm. It's like a really special number for us. So that was like a nod to her. And then one of the last fun things was you can see that there's fire. So this, my card is going to be in the fire splinter. And the whole fire magic is a nod to the fact that whenever I play an RPG game, I always end up playing a mage, and I always end up using fire. It's like lightning, ice, no. It's always ends up being fire because I just want to blow stuff up. And it's always super fun. So there's all these little nods, and Tyler just sat there for an hour and listened to me geek out and collaborate, and he was into it, I was into it. We just had such a fun process, and I'm just really stoked that he's been working with us, and I'm stoked that this kind of stuff is what we're going to do for all of our team members. Like every single one of our team members on the team is going to have their own card. And I don't know about you, but if you don't get excited about it, I think you miss the fun and what this company is about. And what we're doing is we're doing really cool stuff with money, we're doing really cool stuff with finance, and we're doing a really cool game. But it's like when it comes all down to it, like we're all a bunch of gamers here trying to do cool stuff and change the world. So anyway, I just wanted to share that with you guys. I'm super happy. Just Tyler, thank you out there. I really appreciate it. Love you, man.
All right, so let's let Cryptomancer finish up. Anything else that you want to share, or I guess you're going to be working on the wild versus modern bits. Any thoughts on that you want to kind of let out into the world, or let the people know?
Yes, that's right. So highest priority now is going to be working on the wild and modern formats. And I think that's going to be a pretty good-sized project. It's going to touch a lot of parts of the code, be fairly involved. It's a little too early to go into a lot of the specifics on that. I need to do some planning for it first, and we need to have some internal discussions within the team to kind of nail down some of the fine details there. As far as timing goes, we're definitely hoping to get it out within Q1. Can't promise exactly when, but Q1, that's what the big takeaway should be. Obviously, we want to get that out as soon as we can, so it's top priority. And I think that's going to have a big impact on how people play the game, and it'll be exciting to see how people decide whether they want to play in the modern format or in the wild format. That's going to feel like an impactful decision, I think. So yeah, going to be really exciting there. And then after that, of course, it'll be all about land. That's the next big thing.
Yeah, pretty awesome stuff. Okay, I think that's everybody that I kind of wanted to go through. We're running a couple minutes late for the sort of town hall portion, and now I want to get into questions. So just a reminder that the first part of this is just us doing the town hall thing. The second part is prearranged questions. People leave questions in the AMA during the week, and then I'm going to go through and answer these. And then lastly, if there's any time left, we'll go open the floor, and anybody with whatever questions they have can just hit us with them. So here's there's a document that Liberty Last just put in. Come check that out. And these are the questions that have been gathered. It looks like we got 3 pages, which is a little bit rough, but not too bad. We should be able to go do this. What games are you playing other than Splinterlands to get your creative juices flowing? I keep going back to League of Legends, and I go to StarCraft. Matt, Hardpoint, what do you guys do?
You go
Go
first.
ahead, Matt. You go ahead. Well,
Me?
Yeah, go ahead, Matt.
Okay. Yeah, well, over the summer, I had no time to play any games, but I'm glad that now Hardpoint and other people are on board so I can get back into it. I try to play everything and all different types of games, but I'm a huge fan of games like Civilization. I don't have any time for them anymore, but I played EverQuest for way longer than I'd like to admit. Recently, I've been playing a lot of Terraria with my son, which I think is an awesome and very underappreciated game. Minecraft, that sort of stuff. But I really try to just hit every type of genre because you get cool different ideas that you can pull from all of them.
That's
Rich?
awesome, Matt. So see, obviously the obvious one is now my life has been consumed with Splinterlands, so I've actually been trying to figure out how to hang out in gold now. And but I will say, outside of Splinterlands, I will play. I don't know if anyone's heard of Gunfire Reborn on Steam. It's one of the best roguelike shooters that I've played from an indie studio, and I love that game and play that a ton. And I played also, what was the other one? I played Element TD 2 and I don't know, a tower defense game, but it's like you combine. It reminds me of Splinterlands a little bit because it's all about combining different combinations to beat the levels. But it's a tower defense where you have all these elements. So a lot of fun there. So I played Outriders in the fall before I started Splinterlands and really enjoyed that. The one that wrecked me that everybody has their game where they're like, I started playing this game and then I looked up 3 years later. And that was Smite. I played Smite so much, and I ended up playing so much casual that my ELO was at the point where I played one match against one of the esports teams, and we got destroyed. I got a couple of kills though, but we got destroyed. But it was like we left that match going, like that was weird. But I ended up having to uninstall it because there was an unhealthy relationship with that game after several thousand hours. But I loved it.
What's the official Splinterlands position on the new trend that's been going on for a while where players are creating alt accounts, delegating or renting all their cards, and grinding to high ranking, depleting the ECR in the process? After the ECR is close to zero, they just delegate the cards to another account and keep repeating the process. To me, this just seems like an exploit of sorts and a way to milk the game.
We've had a number of calls and discussions about that with a whole bunch of the team members. And these are the type of things where I think there are a few like quick changes that we're planning to put in to address some of the exploits. But overall, we are trying to just like look at the data and take into account everything that's going on and adjust the entire system and the reward system of the game to just address a lot of the issues, because I think a lot of these things come from more like underlying issues with the economy and how those things work. So I guess all I can really say right now is that's like very, very important to us. We are looking at not only that, but a lot of other similar, like, I would say tricks or things that people are doing. And we're, working on some quick fixes and some more longer term changes to how the system works just to make it, I guess, more fair. And then also, I've said many times, like, our goal for the entire game and the game economy is to incentivize people to get as much, collection power and get into as high a league as possible on a single account rather than spreading things out across multiple accounts. So, anytime we see that happening, it means there's something that's not quite right with the overall economy and reward system.
Yeah, can I tag on to you, Matt, a little bit? When we think about like rank play, we've been having those discussions. I'm not going to go into details, but I just want to kind of tell people some of our conversations, like the spirit of what we've been talking about internally. We were thinking about it from a game perspective. What do we want to do with the game? We want people to have fun, right? So we want people to play the game to have fun. That's number one thing we're talking about. Number two, we're talking about we want to incentivize people to play more, to like, hey, there's a hook, there's something. All games have a hook. We want to make sure our game has a hook that keeps you coming back. And it's not just the rewards. It's about like you participating in a game and you being excited about, oh, I gotta get in there and do this. I got my cards, I want to go do this. So like we're trying to figure out how do we get people to get that hook where they're excited about it. And then like when I think about that, I want the people to fear when they're that hook that they can be meaningful and make a meaningful contribution to the platform. And so we're looking at ranked and we're looking at the way that works and we're looking at all the data and we're looking at what we can do to really increase fun, really increase people's engagement over time and really make them feel like they're making a meaningful dent in what they're doing. And I think that's fantastic that the team has the time now. And that's one of those things, like you said, Matt, like now that we have a lot of people working on here, we're able to actually, take a breath, look at what's there, look at the data, and try to figure out what's the next step to really doing all those things and accomplishing them with the game.
Will you announce a decision soon on whether or not Rift Watchers will see a short-term increase in voucher printing like we got during the Chaos Legion run-up? Personally, I would really hope that there would not be an increase so that there's more reason to hold SPS immediately. The earlier you could confirm this, the better, especially if there will be an increase. Thanks.
Yeah, I don't plan on there ever being increases in voucher printing, going forward. I mean, I'm not going to say 100% because, you never know what things are going to change in the future. And we want to be able to be, agile and make the necessary decisions. But yeah, I don't see any plans to do that. So you're going to have to, there'll be plenty of times to accumulate your vouchers before Rift Watchers, and then we also plan to add a bunch more new things into the game in the future that also require vouchers.
Development questions. Why do you keep doing server maintenance on the last day of the season when we are all pushing for higher league standing?
Yeah, I mean, I agree that wasn't great timing, but also it was more for, it was the last weekday before the general sale, and there were, updates and things that needed to be pushed out before then. So it's a little hard to always schedule these things because there's so much stuff going on. There's big tournaments, there's seasons, there's releases and all that stuff. So I think we'll try to do our best in that regard.
Yeah, one thing we did actually do is roll out some features where we can black out dates for tournaments so that we can actually do scheduled releases and that we won't be interrupting a tournament. So we are making an inroad specifically, I think, on the spirit of what that's being asked is like, why are you guys interrupting my gameplay? We are doing things to help kind of carve out some time where we can update the systems and make it a better platform.
All right. Are there plans to ever make Gladius cards tradable?
I don't think we plan to make the cards tradable. I mean, they're not tradable for a reason. But I do think a project on our list is to review the whole Guild Brawls economy, how many merits you get, how many crowns you get, if it's taking too long, if it's too difficult. My kind of quick opinion, having not looked at all the data, is that it is, and that we probably want to make some changes there to make it easier for people to get Gladiator cards. But again, we have to balance that with all the other features that we're working on.
Well, they're also supposed to move up, so let's get them to move up before we do all of that. But certainly, yeah, we should be looking at that. Okay, are there plans to eventually convert Splinterlands into a turn-based game? I do not know any games with widespread adoption that don't require players to react to their opponents' plays in real time. I do see that as a potential game mode, but I don't see like all of Splinterlands switching to it. Matt, thoughts?
Well, we have sort of that in the plans for Land. So the idea with Land is that there'll be a one other step or one other turn, I guess, to the game, which is that after you and your opponent pick your teams, you see both teams on the battlefield, and then you have a chance to cast spells and equip items on your cards. So it's like going a little bit in that direction. But yeah, Splinterlands, the main game, is how it is, and then like Aggro said, we can potentially do other game modes or different things that work differently.
Hardpoint, any update on the in-game marketplace supporting land, title, skins, and vouchers?
We talked about that this last week, and we want to make it happen. So it's definitely on the list. I don't think it's like what we would say burning hot priority, but we want to get it done, and it's in the near term, not forever out there.
All right, I got 2 validator questions, so these are for you, Matt. Regarding SBS validator nodes, will the top 10 validators rely solely on the number of votes, or will votes be weighted by how much SBS you have staked?
So this isn't 100% figured out yet. So I can't say for sure. It's like part of the economy design of the whole thing. But in general, even if it's just the number of votes and doesn't matter how much SPS you have staked, like in theory, people probably wouldn't vote for validators who don't have significant stake in the game, right? So it could happen, but the idea is that people should, pick good validators to vote for. The same as with Hive witnesses or EOS block producers or any of that. Like, you want people who have a significant amount of stake in the system and are going to be good, I guess, stewards, you could say, of the system, that should be the ones you vote for.
For SBS governance voting, I was wondering if there will be similar structures to SPT and Hive voting, whereby when you upvote a specific governance decision, you would receive SBS based on your SBS staked in general, or perhaps to limit it only when the proposal passes, Are users going to get any money back for proposals?
There's not. It's not like voting on posts on Hive. I mean, that's a very different thing. Where like Hive has a post reward pool. So voting on governance proposals is not going to give you any rewards, but it's just your opportunity to, make your voice or your stake heard to make the changes or prevent the changes, that you want or don't want in the game.
Economy questions. How much can we earn monthly by playing Splinterlands full time? Well, if you stake nothing, then you can earn exactly nothing. And then there's an entire range, and that range will depend on how much you're staking, how much time you spend in the game, and how skillful you are. And there are players that are making thousands and or even tens of thousands of dollars, per month, and maybe even faster than that. So there's a pretty big range, and ultimately, I think it really depends on how much you're staking.
Yeah, it depends on a lot of factors, obviously. So we can't say like you can earn this much. I mean, like, if you're a big part, I always say like Splinterlands, the game is a lot more than just the battling, right? So the rewards and the earnings and how you do that is part of the game. It's part of the fun of doing this. So like, how good are you at picking the right cards, and do you buy them? Do you rent them? How much do you play? Do you play in tournaments or not? Whatever, like all these things factor into your earnings. Are you a scholar in a guild? That's all part of the game, is like figuring that stuff out.
All right. Suppose I buy 500 backs in the general sale and have 70 vouchers. How will they be judged? 10% or 15% for the bonus? Would I get 50 bonus packs or 70? How does that work, Matt?
So if you buy 500 packs, you will be eligible to receive up to 15% of bonus packs. So that would be 75 packs would be 15% of 500. And then you can choose, if you have 75 vouchers, you can choose to use them all to get the bonus packs, or you could choose to use fewer vouchers if you want. But you'll be eligible to get the amount, the normal amount as we've had in the past.
Suggestions or requests. Could we start a My Land Ideas channel where players can suggest what would be a cool format for land? I'm sure the devs will do a great job, but I believe we have some very talented brains playing the game that would contribute to the joy of playing and economically benefit the whole project. Is Bulldog's in here? So Bulldog is actually going to go start our new as like our head of moderation for the company. So we'll talk that through with Bulldog, but I've been punting for a little bit on all the land stuff until we get a little bit closer. But I'm starting to feel like we're getting a little bit closer. So time for that. Eye candy suggestions. Show us what land resources will look like. Do you have anything for new totems? How about a weapon or spell might look like? So normally the eye candy stuff is Nate. Excuse me, I have the hiccups. Nate's on vacation. So I don't have any eye candy for today. Will you grab me a
I think
drink?
we're also focusing, first on phase 1 of the land sale, which isn't getting into resources and that type of stuff. So it's like on the different land card NFTs and kind of like the map and that type of things is what we're working on right now.
Does anyone else wish they could filter the cards tab by level? I don't know if it just hasn't been suggested or if it's a developmental headache. Richard, if you have suggestions, what should people do?
Feedback.splitterlands.com. Guys, go there, upvote it, insert your ideas there, guys. That's what we're watching, we're reading it. We just went through it and looked over everything, so we're pulling ideas from there. In fact, I think we just dropped the top request, right? Didn't we just deploy to production for you guys? Everybody was asking about this, about your balance history. And if you guys actually go to the website, you guys know what was the top upvoted idea from the community? It was like, hey, can we get our transactions from 2021? And guess what we did? We did that for you. You guys voted for that to the top of the feedback.splinterlands.com site. We went out and deployed it. K-Bucks and Butcherblock and several other people made this happen. And if you go right now, you go to the website, you click on your profile name, you click on balance history, and on the right, there is an export button. You click that, and there is export all of your 2021 history. Guys, you asked for it. We did it. It made it happen. So
Wow.
keep upvoting it. Keep putting your ideas in there. We're watching.
That's intense. I'm so nervous about how many transactions this is. I'm going to go export this. Export all 2021 history. Time to battle test this. I didn't even know that was going live. All right. Let's see. What about printing a book with the Chaos Legion lore? So I want to do that and then some, but we need Nate. Nate's our creative director. We got to go engage Nate to have that discussion. So let's push that up till next time. Is there a plan to expand the in-game marketplace in the future? For example, to the ability to buy and sell revealed and unrevealed lands and packs from various sets. That was kind of answered before, so it's on the list, but it's not next up. Yeah, I downloaded mine, and I know that it's gonna take like 20 minutes to download at least. Card questions. Given the Chaos Legion and especially GS will flood the game with 10x as many packs as have ever been released before, how much do you plan to raise the league power requirements? Since Chaos Legion only provides half the collection power of previous editions, 10x might be too much, but it will be at least 2.5 times, right?
No, we're not going to raise the collection power requirements for the leagues. Because if those packs are spread among more people, and the whole point of the collection power requirements is it's not an exact thing, but basically to ensure that if you're up in a certain league, you have a reasonable collection to be in that league, and that doesn't change if there's just 10x as many packs. It just means that many more people can be in the higher leagues, which is exactly what we want. More competition, more players in the higher leagues is what we want. So there definitely won't be an increase, or we're definitely not planning on there being an increase of collection power.
Silas of the Rift card from BCH Collaboration. Will there be an in-game utility, or is it just a collector card? That's the Blockchain Heroes. Is Liam around? Do you want to talk about that at all?
Yeah, I'm here. So Blockchain Heroes, with the kind of upcoming partnership we're going to be doing with them, I think we're just finalizing some of the assets for Nate, but hopefully I'll be able to kind of put out a post pretty soon here. So stay tuned, but we'll get some more stuff out soon.
Thank you. All right. How many packs do I need to be a Mavs? You need to purchase 1,000.
Does that include bonus packs? I think there was a question about that.
Yeah, I think it does. I think we made it that way. So you have to buy like 820 or 870, and you'll get up to the max. What happens to packs unsold in phase 2? Are those hundreds of thousands of packs all going to marketing? Are they rolled out to the general sale? Will any go into the quest or season rewards? What happens to those packs, Matt?
They just roll over into the general sale.
Okay. What's up with the Blockchain Heroes cards? Was that a leak? Are there more cards coming? What are the benefits of holding the cards? So that gets back into Liam saying, "Hang on, guys, we'll get you something formal." And just so you know, I've been uploading or opening this file into Google Docs to open the spreadsheet, and it's been going for like 5 minutes. I have no idea how many transactions I have, but it's a lot. All right. Does the 300 packs purchase guarantee the Bakjira and Uriel airdrop only, or are we guaranteed to get every single airdrop coming with 300, or do we need 400 packs for airdrops, 500 for airdrop 6, etc.? Like how many? Can you at least give that kind of a question or describe that a little bit, Matt?
It does go up with additional airdrops. Because it's based on what are your chances of getting the card in the pack. So as more legendary cards are added, then the chance of getting each individual legendary card is reduced. So that's why it increases. But it's not 100. It's usually 25 for each new legendary card added. So the next 2 airdrop cards, which we leaked on the town hall earlier, I believe the guaranteed amount is going to be 350 packs, since there's 2 being airdropped at the same time. And even if there ends up being more than 2 airdropped at the same time, if 3 million plus packs sell within in the first 24 hours, then it'll all just still be at the 350 level, and there'll just be extra cards for people. But then it will go up by 25 for each new airdrop card.
As you were describing that, the Google didn't accept the file. So I'm trying again to upload this thing, but I don't know why it's doing that. But Google didn't like this file. So I might need to go talk to some devs about whale accounts that do a lot of transactions for that thing. All right. Can we get any updates on airdrop legendary summers and when it's coming? So, can you just remind us Matt, why don't you remind us about the legendary summoner bit? And then I guess we need Nate to sort of talk it through, unless that's a chatter thing. But Matt, can you give us a quick thought on the legendary summoners and what they're talking about? And then we can go punt this to Nate when he's back with us next week.
Yeah, well, 6 of the 13 airdrop cards for the Chaos Legion edition are going to be legendary summoners, similar to what we did with Untamed and Beta. And they are designed by the top 6 pack purchasers during the Chaos Legion presale. So I don't think we have an ETA on those yet, but I think we hopefully we've started working with those designers from the community, and it's just a bit of a longer process than our typical process. Just we have to work with them and try to make something that is in their vision and also fits within the game, and then get it out.
I gotta go print screen this. Share X is my snap tool, and then I print screen this, and I can go share this. I've never seen this on Google before, but server rejected, dismiss is what I guess I have to go send to Hardpoint. We got to make sure that this thing is whale friendly. All right, land question. Can anyone say anything about castles and keeps and what their purposes might be for? The land is going to be amazing. Thanks to everyone. Can you, Matt, you want to talk just a little bit about land?
Yeah, so again, this is very TBD, but kind of what we're thinking about with land is there's going to be things where everyone within a tract and everyone within a region, assuming there's more than one person, if you own the whole tract or the whole region, then it'll just be you, but can kind of all contribute together towards larger goals. And that type of stuff will all be through the castles and keeps. And I think there will be, there's definitely going to be a lot of DeFi elements to it, like, AMM pools, which is automated market making, similar to like Uniswap type deals for trading all the different resources and things like that. And those will all go through the castles and keeps. Like if you kind of imagine, we try to imagine land as if it were like real life, back in the Middle Ages system. But in our fantasy world. So like, we're talking about DeFi, AMM pools, but we're trying to think of it like, people are all coming from all around the Pretoria, to trade their goods, and they're doing it in, the castles are the biggest trading areas and keeps are kind of smaller trading areas. And so everyone in the tract or region, benefits from the use of those. But the owner of the plot on which the castle or keep is gets, additional fees from all the transactions that happen in their castle and keep that they kind of run. So that's, we don't have any really more details than that yet. But that's kind of what we're thinking. So there's going to be big benefits just in additional earnings potential by owning a plot with a castle or a keep on it. And then it'll be kind of like a trading hub for all the different things that the plots in that region or tract take part in.
All right, we got a marketing question. It seems like Chatter's here. I should have given Chatter a little bit more time in the intro bits. But
before you jump on, I need to update my 22 year-in goals. So how do I get a keep? I need to understand these. My life choices are being written for me on this stream, so I need to update my goals for the year. Because a plot of land is not enough. What do I
Yeah.
do to get these castles and
Well,
keeps that you speak of?
So one plot out of every tract, a tract is 100 plots, will have a keep on it, and one of those keeps within a region. So a region is 1,000 plots or 10 tracts. So within a region, there will be 9 tracts that have a plot with a keep, and one of them will have a castle instead. So every plot that you have, you could just randomly, be lucky and get a keep or even a castle on that plot. But if you purchased an entire tract, like a tract token, which is different than 100 plots, just to be clear. So a tract token, the benefit of that as compared to 100 plots is that if you have one tract token, which is worth 100 plots, it guarantees that your plots will all be together in the same tract of land, which guarantees that one of them will have either a castle or a keep. And similar, if you have a region token, which is 1,000 plots, it will guarantee that you have exactly 9 keeps and 1 castle. Whereas if you just buy 100 different plots, they're not guaranteed to be all together, and none of them could have a castle or a keep. Or it's possible that more than one could potentially, but that's the difference there. So that's how you get them. You just get land plot, plot tract or region claims, and then if you have plot claims, you'll just have to get lucky.
Okay, updating my goals. 1 tract of land somehow in 22.
Yeah, it's savage. All right, marketing questions. So back to Liam. I see that we are advertising on Brave. Are we advertising on any other social media or AdSense? Only a small percent if our potential audience is on Brave.
Yeah, absolutely. So Brave is kind of where we kicked off all of our ads right now. We've just launched on StackAdapt as well as of last week, which is a bit more of kind of a native ad platform. And then upcoming will be kind of the rest of the big box. So all the kind of Google, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram will be upcoming. That's really just pending us building a subdomain right now. So the big issue, the big blocker for us is just due to advertising crypto, there's a lot of kind of regulations that a lot of the advertising platforms put on us. So we can't push people to our regular site just due to the crypto verbiage and a lot of our source code information pertaining to crypto as well. All of our ads get disapproved right away. So long story short, what we're doing is creating a subdomain or like a new landing page on a different domain. We're going to be collecting emails on that landing page and then directing people back to the site via email. So a little bit of a workaround, but that should be hopefully up and running in the next 2 or so weeks. And then I don't know if you saw the post in the official updates, but we're also going to be doing a little bit more of traditional advertising too. So I think it's 60 or 70 plus billboards are going live in Thailand as of tomorrow with kind of the ZipMex partnership there. So exciting, more things to come.
Rock on. And then the last thing was just a comment. Thank you guys for doing your very best to keep Splinterlands a smooth experience. You don't get many of those, especially in kind of like the feedback stuff. But thank you for whoever added that. Thank you. We work our freaking tails off to try to make this thing so awesome. Chatter, why don't you go ahead and do the shameless plug for the lore and just kind of talk through what the lore is and, what's going on.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for letting me come back in here. I forgot to mention that. But yeah, Azaria, Nate, and the rest of the design team put out a new lore video. We're releasing them every week on Wednesdays right now. Be sure to check them out. The actual animation, the storylines, and everything behind it are great. And really fun fact there, but Azaria, who's also a super talented marketer, also does all of the music behind those videos too. So again, super multi-talented marketing team working here.
Okay. So I guess we have maybe 20 minutes to just go and answer random questions from the community. I can see a couple are already sneaking in. So I guess I'll start with
before we get to that, I gotta jump out. It's getting a little late here, but I just want to say, as always, thank you to everyone. The community is just fantastic and awesome, and it just seems to get better. And we're all just excited, just as excited as all of you for all the stuff coming up in 2022.
Awesome. Thanks, Matt. Okay, we got some of these here questions. All right, moving on down here. So Hashmask Gladiators is asking, could you give us some insights about your thought process about the current tournament situation? Yes, I knew that this was coming up. That didn't take long. Player Gank brought up some, in my opinion, valid points about the accessibility of tournaments regarding collection power. So I know that this is a hot topic, and I built all the tournaments, and then I immediately got slammed at work, and I haven't had any moment to kind of go back. I've been meaning to go put together like a YouTube video that sort of explains that the current process is, largely so that the community can know how that spreadsheet was built, because it has all the tournaments in it, so that they can have some input in how it should be edited. What I don't, I'm going to see how this goes. What I don't really want is to like edit a tournament or two here and there. What I'd really like to do is kind of get Matt's vision of these validator nodes kind of up and running with tournaments first, and be like, here is the code. It's not quite code that we use, because I build these things manually, but this is all the kind of preliminary stages of this. But it's something like, here is the set of code or instructions that I work from to go build these tournaments. I want the community to edit this document, give it back to me, so that I can make different tournaments based off of what this community wants. And I'm a pretty big stakeholder in SBS, so I feel like I can flex some muscle if it gets too ridiculous. Because honestly, there's some players in there that are just like, all the main concern I hear is, I want more return for less work and less investment. And I hear that, but I also don't want to reduce the value of what we've done. So I'm not saying that it's the end all be all. I do think that there's some wiggle room in there, but honestly, I'm not totally up to date on all the outrage. I kind of need to go back and read it through and figure out where that whole thing lands. But hopefully, in the next couple of days, you'll get a video from me explaining how the entire system works, and hopefully the tournament planning session comes together and they kind of recode what we're doing. And if there's enough support behind it, then I'll build out what you guys want. Will mystery potions ever return? So I don't think so. It's hard to consistently make something that's so rare and pretty powerful. So mystery potions were just a little bit too one-offy to really keep doing, and it's a lot of work to like every 90 days or whatever go back in and tweak these things. What is the date for Rift Watchers to drop? I don't know. We got to get through the work. And so it kind of depends on how many people are getting Mancer some help in building the land update, and how much of that we're plowing through. Random is saying, I received a well-worded, hopefully empathy-filled and considerate reply while checking up on a longly awaited ticket from Mumpulls, and I'm grateful for it. My question tonight is, what are some of the things that are weighted out, considered, and balanced when looking at with high-value requests and tickets? It's an overlooked process that seems super intriguing and very meticulous. Hardpoint?
I was reading another question. You caught me flat-footed.
Man, it's the 939 one. You do this all the time, man.
I know. I'm reading.
Busted.
I'm like, I know. You know what the problem is being a developer is I have like one track. I can flex my multi-threaded sometimes, but sometimes I'm like, oh, okay, I'm processing these land things, and I'm like, what the crap? So anyway, sorry, where were we at?
My question tonight is, what are some of the things that are weighted out, considered, and balanced when looking at with high value requests and tickets? It's an overlooked process that seems super intriguing and very meticulous.
Yes. So what we've been doing is trying to find a good axis between the amount of value that is moving, how fast the ticket came in, and how quickly we can turn it around, and what access to resources we have to get it done. So really, we bring in so many different factors when tickets. We went from like a really simple system back in the fall where we were just doing each ticket as when they came in, and we would just do them and wait. And so then as they piled up, if we got to a really hard ticket, it could eat up the team's time for a while. And over the last couple of months, the support team has moved to a more dynamic prioritization system, which we're trying to knock as many tickets as fast as we can. And then the ones that are hard, we dig into and put them in a different queue, with the ones that have a lot of value, we put in a different queue. So really, it's all about how fast can we make people happy, and how do we make this as smooth as we can for anyone that reaches out to us on support.
Rock on. Joe Dredd is asking, would you ever consider using vouchers as a method to purchase Gladius cases, or have some kind of promo card that can only be purchased using vouchers? I think all of Rift Watchers. I shouldn't say it like that. My plan and my hope and my internal push. I don't win every battle here. Like I just lost one with our board like this past week. Like I don't win everything. I'm batting pretty high, but I don't get 100% of what I want. What I want is to see Rift Watchers be 100% voucher based. So I don't know that I'll get that. I don't know that we'll do that, but that is what I will be pushing for. I freaking love vouchers. I never should have caved when the community was like, I'm not sure we should be doing this. Why are you doing it that way? Go back to the normal. And then they're like, vouchers is amazing. Why didn't you do it this way? It's like, you guys are freaking killing me. But yeah, my hope is to go back to 100% vouchers. How many packs were sold in the bulk sale? I think we did 1.5 million. For the sort of like volume discount stuff. Question: happened to catch the haikus in chat today? I did not. Man, I've just been slammed. If I told you the list of companies that I've been speaking to this past week, your jaw would drop. We're looking for big partnerships, and I just I love like hanging out with my Mavs. This is my home. This has been my home for 3.5 years. So I love just like chilling with the Mavs, but some of the stuff that I've been working on just like pulls me away, and there's nothing I can do about it. Have you guys thought about a cloaking option to give players a different name in battles to protect the immersion? It's mind-numbing to play against 15 bots in a row, all called the same with slightly different numbers. I don't know. That's not such a bad idea. I kind of would love to be able to do like a mapping where your account name is not necessarily what's displayed. But for little things like that sounds like a quality of life thing. And maybe Richard can tell us what to do if you want a quality of life change.
Oh gosh, I'm going to get a recording. I'm going to press a button every time you do that. It's feedback.splinterlands.com. We've dropped the link in there. Guys, get that kind of suggestion in there. Get it upvoted by the community, and we'll get on it.
That's you need like a Staples, that was easy button.
That was easy.
All right. Are you guys going to address the issue where people are taking a leaderboard slot, i.e. champion photo, where people are holding slots for top 50, but are not holding the power required to hold it? Granted, your rating is important, but should not be fair to those who work to hold their slots just for someone to come in and get the rating and not have the power to hold said rating. Also, I think 3,000 to 4,200 should be champion, because we don't ever see 4,700s anymore. So it's not right for us to lose 30 or 40 rating to a 3 to 3,500,000 rating person, but only gain 10 from those people. Also, aggroed equals exploding dwarf. Your face equals exploding dwarf. And this is now getting like a little bit specific.
Well, can I answer
what
that?
Difference does it make if you hold it? I mean, if you don't have the power, you lose the spot. So, like, why is that such a big deal? Maybe I just don't understand the question.
Well, I mean, one of the things, this is what I was referring to earlier when we were talking about ranked play. We're kind of alluding to the conversations that me, Matt, and the team are having right now about how we affect ranked. And the goal is that we will be tweaking ranked to get it to a better spot. I'm just going to say that. I don't want to like lead the witness too much, but I will tell you how ranking works, how chests work, how you get rewards, how the season plays out, how you get rewards over the course of the season, when is the best time to play during the season. We have a lot of really smart people here now that are kicking out like really cool ideas for us to do to tweak the whole play. So, like, these things you guys are going to start seeing over the next Q1, Q2, Q3 for ranked.
All right. I think we're Let me scroll down. I think we're running out of questions, or we're running out of time. So will you put in the no more questions banner? All right. Will Kron or Llama or overpowered cards be nerfed? I don't think Kron or Llama are going to get nerfed. What I think you'll see going forward. So, like, if it's truly OP, we will nerf it. I mean, don't get me wrong. If there's something that we screw up and it's got like a 90% win rate, it's getting nerfed. Because what's worse than having your card get nerfed is a card that breaks the game. So what we've typically looked at is a 70% or higher win rate is really when we're like, okay, we screwed up and we need to make this. We need to nerf this a little. And instead of, if we can, I think instead of nerfing it, we'll introduce a reward card or something that counters it. So, it's the same kind of thing. We're like, oh, wow, that card's really powerful. But in this circumstance against that card, it's going to get smashed. So, like Bakjira is awesome, but it also has no attack, which means that the abilities that do double damage to it will knock it out. So, like, we like things that are like totally overpowered, but we want them to be totally overpowered in narrow situations, not overpowered in every single match all the time. Question: when a battle results in a draw, is it possible to offer some small incentive or reward to compensate lost ECR, or maybe make draws not reduce ECR? I don't know. Put that into player suggestions at feedback.splinterlands.com. My general answer is no. That's just part of the game. But if enough players want it, I'm not gonna stand in the way of that. So put it on feedback, and we'll see what people say. Apart from getting bonus packs, what are the use of vouchers that you plan to do in the future? So, like, if I have my way, which I don't always have my way, but if I have my way, all of Rift Watchers will require a voucher in order to be able to purchase it. So that's one of the uses. But a lot of if we do like promos and special things, special editions, certain things in land, basically a ton of the stuff that we roll out, it's going to cost you a voucher if you we want that voucher to be like, you could buy it, but the only way you can buy it is if you've been part of this economy and ecosystem and staking for a long time. So expect some things that are voucher only. Let's see. I haven't seen McCursey in a while. Welcome back if you took a break. Jen Marty's asking, if you missed the chance to get the bonus packs, if you buy 500, will you be able to get it when you got the vouchers, or everything needs to be bought in one go? Everything needs to be bought in one go. Jordan Dodon, Sir Smokes a Lot, is asking, when SPS from Ranked Battle and Brawl rewards are available, would gold foils increase in value? So we don't do, that's kind of like a financial question. And any time that I have ever offered up answers to financial questions, my legal team winds up and kicks me in the groin. So I won't be answering that question. Question: can we expect Land's first functional stage to be launched in Q2 or Q3? Yeah, the deployment is maybe in Q2, maybe it's Q3, but we're hoping for that, right? Land is in the not too distant future.
Yeah, I definitely would love to see. Well, remember we were talking earlier, people, that it's in phases. So we're going to be defining those phases, and those we would definitely live Q2 or Q3 to phase 1 of Land to get started. Land is huge. Don't think Land is small, people. Land is huge. It's going to take us, we're going to do multiple releases on that. It's going to build up. It's going to get bigger and bigger.
How many packs are required to get in the next airdrop? Guaranteed airdrop? I think Matt was saying 350, but I don't know. We haven't written that anywhere. So that is a suggestion rather than a guarantee. Although I have all edition cards, I will not be able to play both Modern and Wild League format. No, you can play both. You have all edition cards. Great. So yeah, you can play Modern and Wild format, but you'll have one ECR and you'll have to make choices about how you want to spend it. Frank Capital is asking, question, can we get a live tournament for live players to compete instead of anytime tournament sponsored by Splinterlands, at least novice and bronze and possible silver? Yeah, I haven't put the brawlers back, but yeah, I want to get the brawlers back in there. I'm using nearly all of the SPS that was part of the tournament sequence to go put that out to players. But there's like a little bit that's held in reserve. So like every so often we'll get brawlers in there that are these not the asynchronous, they're the bracket style tournaments. So yeah, I want to do that. Manser is saying that he agrees with the 100% vouchers. So if there's enough support internally in this company and externally in the game, then we'll make it happen. McCursey's asking, will there be any more 2-point mono summoners or epic summoners added in the near future, meaning Rift Watchers or others? Just asking because they're nice in bronze and gold leagues for that extra rare unit level bonus. Thanks. I haven't seen. We've been like working on the creative part for Rift Watchers, but nobody's taken any look at what those cards will be. So I do think that we want 2-point or 2 mana summoners, but I don't know. I don't know what's coming. So no idea.
Rift Watchers is usually, that's our mid-year set, and that set usually we do to tune Chaos League. We'll use it to tune the last big expansion. So we are going to be watching the data from how Chaos Legion plays out, and we're going to be watching those cards. And you kind of mentioned this a little bit earlier, Aggie, that like if we have an overpowered card or we have a strong card, Rift Watchers is an opportunity for us to enter a card that can counter that really strong play. So Rift Watchers is really going to be looking at the data a little bit and seeing how everything's played out. And then one of the things that Matt's mentioned in the past is that once the art's done, then Matt kind of starts working on the stats, because we like to kind of have the stats make sense for the cards. So we got a little bit more progress to do in Rift Watchers.
Awesome. Question, how much SPS will be required to run a validator, and what will be the ROI on it? So I don't think that there's going to be any SPS requirement to run the validator, but it's going to work like hive voting. So like in order to be, like there's no requirement to like be staked. You can have no stake and maybe everybody still votes for you. But, generally, I can't tell you how it always works, but usually they're looking for people that have a bunch of stake on the platform so that they know that you're like pretty vested and making sure that you're not just like purposely screwing something up and that you're paying attention. And what will be the ROI on it? There's set rewards for running these validator nodes. And then you'll have to compare that against the cost of the server. So I don't think there's going to be like a set ROI. There should be like a set amount of SPS awarded to the top witnesses or the top validators, but I can't tell you your ROI, because if you're running it on like some supercomputer, it's going to be expensive, and if you run it on a potato, it might not be expensive. But you'll have to figure out that sort of math on your own. There's some haikus here. I am actually a giant fan of haikus. And Chatter went and got them. This is Splinterlands. You earn by playing a game. Feels good, doesn't it? How to grow a beard is a question for Chatter. I advise Rogaine. You guys are freaking savages. SBS the coin, better than a toy, brings everyone joy. Pick your cards and aim. Will you win glory or shame? Splinterlands the game. Splinterlands the game where you earn money and fame. Time to stake your claim. Tender shepherd, Aggie, our face and voice. Lead us well. Lead us well is not a 5-syllable. I can see that right there. For money, for fun, why should you only choose one? Splinterlands has one. There's a lot of like rhyming that happens in this, and I just gotta say, you don't actually have to rhyme your haikus. I'm noticing a couple of errors, but generally. The award goes to How to Grow a Beard. It's a question for Chatter. I advise Rogaine. You guys are savages. Just absolute savages. Okay. Is there anything else in here?
How did you get your hat? Where'd you get your hat, Aggie?
Oh, I got my hat. There was like a couple promotions that this one company does This was like a Chris and Carrie found this company. So I think I ordered like 100 of them, and maybe Matt has them, but he already, I don't know. It's on my list to go do like another giant print run of hats and shirts and all this other stuff. So, so that's what I got for now. All right, guys, it's 9:59. I think we're going to call it here. So, Richard, why don't you go first and try to, give us a goodbye to the audience, and just, tell them what you're feeling, tell them what you're experiencing, and take us out of here.
I realized through this whole call that Rogaine and chatter is a thing, and writing haikus with errors is another thing in the community, apparently. We're going to have to do SPS voting on haikus. No, I realized that I have new goals this year, that attractive land apparently is there's keeps and castles that I now have to like acquire in my addiction of land. And so I don't know, my new goals for this year are now higher than ever. And hopefully my wife is not listening, and that all the investment I put in SPS, she will forgive me if I want to go after a tract of land too. Maybe I can sell my car. I don't know. Do I need car in 2022? I don't think so.
No, definitely not. You're just chained to a desk anyways.
It's true. It's so true. No. Oh, there was one thing. I want to lead out with this, guys. I was looking at something. I was just pulling this number up. Guys, right now, Splinterlands is currently engaging with 95 people. I just pulled up the sheet. 95 people are involved with Splinterlands. We are going to be over 100 probably by next town hall, is my guess. And just so you guys know, that is phenomenal excitement for me, just being able to work with these talented people that we have here. And oh my gosh, what a fun blast it is with Aggie, with Matt. You get Rondon, who's like in our ear throughout the stream, and he's laughing at me right now. Guys, we were having so much fun making this game for you. Thank you for coming out tonight. Thank you for being awesome. Thank you for investing in this project. We are so thankful that you're here. We are so thankful that you guys are enjoying the game, even though there's some quirks in it. But we are excited what we're going to bring to you. And I promise you, 22 is going to kill it.
Chatter, do you want to, if you're still here and you got a mic, come take us out. What are you feeling? What are you thinking? And what would you want to leave the community with?
Just realized my mic wasn't on, but just wanted to say thank you to everyone. I mean, as we continue with all the general sale and making these marketing pushes and dev updates, like really everything has been generated by you guys. As Richard said, like the feedback stuff, that's all you. The tournament stuff that we're looking into and working on, like that's all driven by you. So just keep doing what you're doing and keep being an awesome community. I worked for many other kind of big box organizations, and I've never been able to really be at the ground with our community and with our customers and really be able to make these changes with you guys. So super cool to see, and then just keep on keeping on.
Yeah. Guys, I have the coolest gig in the world. I work for a company that I freaking love, and I'm obviously biased because I founded this thing, but like I spend my time in gratitude, just being like, man, I work with really awesome, passionate, kind, caring humans. I really like this group of people, and I get to think that frequently. So this is like a hashtag blessed moment for me. And of course, I just love this community. I don't know. You guys have enabled so much in my life, and have enabled this game to succeed. And it's so meaningful to me to get stories from people all across the economic spectrum, from any kind of geography out there, that just shares their stories and says, this is what Splinterlands helped me do. And sometimes it's emotional, sometimes it's physical, sometimes it's spiritual, sometimes it's fundamental or friendship. But there's just so much. So I'm grateful to you guys. Thank you for being here. Thanks for being part of this community. Thanks for helping us grow, and thanks for helping me live the dream. Because I'm telling you, I'm literally speaking to some of the biggest companies in the world, and they're all looking at this space, and they know who we are. Man, I'll tell you, my freaking the hairs on my arms jump up every time that like I'm talking to the biggest dudes, and they're like, yeah, you don't need to introduce Splinterlands. We know who you are. And it's like, wow, that's amazing. These are like billion-dollar, trillion-dollar companies, and they know who we are. So I don't know, man. The best is still ahead of us, and I'm so excited to help bring it here. I'm sorry I still have to be a little cagey about it, but man, I love this game. I love this community, and I love where we're going. And I'm so grateful for you guys, and I'm gonna do my best to make sure that we all go to the same moon. So, anyways, thanks everybody. Much love. We'll be back in a week. And hopefully you guys survive another winter, another week in winter wonderland. And we'll see you guys soon. Thanks, everybody.
See you guys.